Hey everyone, day 8 of my $5,000 cash account. Let me show you how I took a loss in gold this morning and what oil is currently doing on oil inventory day right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on this channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that you put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so today is December 6th. We have some BOC high impact news this morning. We've got oil inventory coming out here in about 22 minutes. Took a trade in gold this morning. We got activated to the short. We got a short entry here and a long entry here. Got activated again to the short. Probably went to about 70% take profit, reversed up, knocked me out of this oil trade for, I think it was 22 ticks, 22 or 21, I can't remember. So that was the first trade of the day. Obviously, not a good one. Currently in a trade in oil that is, let me see if I can bring that one up here. Here we go. Trade in oil that has been about an hour in the making right now. I mean, we've come 3 or 4 times from hitting our stop loss here. So we're still in the fight on this one. This is 35 because look at the source candle. It was a max source candle. It was 60 something ticks. So once it goes 40 and above, I bring it down to 35, my stop and my target. And right now we are in a little bit of green. This would be awesome. This trade would definitely help out the P&L for the day. Another thing too is I did take my 835 NQ trade, which hit on that short right there. It was a big short at 835, so I was able to get in. Now the only thing with this trade is now we're
Order
heading
submitted.
into oil inventory, which is it's tricky, man, because you're gonna have a spike one way or the other. So I know some people in Discord have already taken some profit on this trade. Some people got out for a loss. Some people got out for break even. Um, Taking some money off the table right here is probably not a bad idea, just because oil. I don't like trading around oil inventory. That report, and that's going to be set to come out here in about 20 minutes. So I'll keep an eye on for oil. No setups um, on the 15-minute Rob reversal on the NQ. We don't have anything showing up. This could be a setup here, but I believe that's going to close below the ADMA. But we'll keep an eye out on that one as well. All right, looks like as I was talking, it looks
Order
like
canceled.
the bot canceled that. Let me get us. There we go. That looks much better. So bot looked like it was priming for a 5-minute goal line on that touch, but then obviously oh no, 5-minute goal line right here. Um, hmm, that seemed to be I don't know, kind of like that trade there. Um, well, we'll see. See what happens here on the NQ. I don't know, that to me seemed like an okay trade if the bot would have taken that one, but we'll see. Um, where are we at with the challenge? So yesterday we had a green day, 265 bucks. Brought our account balance back up to 4,726. So we need about $250 more to get to break even. And I'm a little bit past halfway through this challenge, so we still have some time to make up some ground here. As you guys saw yesterday, I've been pretty successful with that overnight open trade. Um, it's been it's been doing really well, and it just seems like every time you've got a huge move, that overnight open starts to, like, it gives you that support, or it will give you that resistance that you're looking for. And then another trade is where you start to you get a huge push through the overnight open, and you let that thing go, and then you see it kind of curl back into that overnight open. That's a really nice trade back into the overnight open as well. So, there's a few ways to play that, and I'm pretty happy that I have that a part of Robert Anderson's trading strategy. And if you want to learn more about the strategy and about the bot, I would recommend going into his channel. He's linked somewhere in the description below. You can also purchase the bot now as well on his site. There, to trade the bot, I think it's $350 a month, and the indicator, I believe, is $175. So the indicator would just give you this without the actual automated trading strategies. To be honest with you, I mean, if you're going to be looking at charts, which I highly recommend trading the strategy, just the indicator alone might be a great addition. If you're following his strategy, it's a great way to see if what you're looking at or what you think is right with the strategy, if it's coinciding with what the indicator is also telling you. So, it could even be something where you have it maybe for a few months, and compare and contrast how you're trading it manually versus what the indicator or the bot is telling you to do. So that could be a strategy for some. But I'll be interested to see if we can take a nice trade here this morning. I would love to take a trade on the NQ. The NQ's been moving pretty good. Oil has just been disgusting. I mean, it's just been, look at this range. To be honest with you, I don't even think I would take a trade right now. And I am actually going to turn off my oil just because we are going into that report, and I just don't want to be trading before that. I'll take a look at opening this back up probably 20 minutes after the report comes out, and we'll kind of see where price action is at. So let me take a look at oil. See, it's just, I don't know. This is like a level right here where, again, I don't blame anybody for knocking out early here. Yeah, a few people have already said that they're taking profit here. I'm going to stay in that trade. I know it's a gamble here, but it's what it is. I'm not going to have another chance in oil anyways, because this is already going into the second session, so I'm not really looking for another trade at this point. So we'll see. We'll see here what happens in oil. I also said I wasn't going to be trading session 2 just because of oil inventory report. So hopefully that trade goes to take profit. That would definitely help out. I'm green so far. I think I'll stay green, I think, regardless of this oil trade, but it might hurt. Actually, I think I might go in the red if this one goes to full stop. All right, let's see what the bot can do. Let's see how my trade strategies pan out for the rest of the day. Stick around for the recap. All right, and here the bot is actually trying to take a long, and I'm just not liking price action here at all. I mean, we've been just pretty much
Order
stuck
canceled.
in a consolidation period for a good amount of time. So this right here is a pretty good example of how being in front of the charts and just obviously looking at price action to the left of you could get you out of a bad trade. And here again, I am just stalking another overnight open trade. We had this huge push right to the overnight open. Makes this
Order
huge
filled.
U shape, and I'm just waiting for that green candle to bounce off of the overnight open. And I'm in this trade, and I'm actually really excited about it. moved my stop here because I just wanted to take some risk off the table. I think I was at like 5 points. And then right about here, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this to break even because again, I know that and it wouldn't even let me, it went down so quickly that couldn't even get my order in.
Stop failed.
Once I saw that rejection right there, whoop boom, I just knew price action wants to go through that overnight open. So that's kind of, this is the part of trading that, you start to see things over and over again. And you could just trade this overnight open strategy with some pretty damn good success if that's what you're constantly looking for.
Order submitted.
Okay, here the bot takes a 1 minute gold line short, which I'm actually pretty okay with this trade. As you can see, we've kind of been stepping down on the NQ, and we've had some pretty big pushes to the downside after the steps. So it's a natural idea for this to want to do another big push down here. So that was my thinking here as far as letting the bot take this trade. That's what I thought it was a good trade. I thought it was a very good setup. Now, unfortunately, tries a little bit of a short, and then just buyers come right back in here and just push me right into my stop loss for about a 5 point or $100
Order
loss.
canceled.
All right, so there you have it. Those were the trades that I took with the Robert Anderson strategy today and the bots. Um, Here's my feelings on today. So today I was green. I was green in my cash account. A little red in the 5K challenge account. How do I rate my trades for today? Honestly, pretty poor. So it's fantastic that my account was able to stay in the green. I had my setups worked fantastic today. I'm going to go over them. I think it was 3 for 4 on my setups. But I still managed to botch today's trading session pretty good. And those are some lessons that, that I still personally deal with as a trader. And the difference now might be that before I would trade bad and my account balance would reflect that. Where now, if I have some poor decisions, I'm able to. I mean, the trades have got to work ultimately, but I'm able to kind of, I don't know, just kind of throw something together, throw a day together, and at least try to get to break even or slightly in the green, which is how today pretty much played out. Didn't take any trades in oil on the bot this today. Actually turned this thing off. Just saw it flatlining a lot, and then saw a move down, but just didn't like the price action on oil, especially after that report came out on inventory. And then let's talk about the bot. So let me just open up the NQ and let's talk about this overnight open again. I know it's been the topic of my videos for the last maybe 3 videos. And it's just, I don't know, it's pretty powerful. It's a pretty powerful trading strategy, just this overnight open. So here we had a huge push down. I believe this was on news, and rushed right through the overnight open, came right back. So we did a little V here. And then we broke through the overnight open. We tested it again. And then from there, we went straight up. Okay. And then we pretty much came all the way full circle. I think I've been talking about this, is that pattern that you see with the overnight open where you bust through it and then it just starts to kind of curl back into that overnight open. And that's why I decided to take this trade right here. And got in pretty good. I got in, on that green candle, pushing above the overnight open. Me thinking that possibly the buyers are now coming in to defend the overnight open. But here's the thing: I'm not willing to give that trade. I'm not willing to give the overnight open trade a lot of room because I know just as easy as they're willing to defend it, it's just as easy as them wanting to push hard right through it. So I will typically be very, very conservative with my stops on this overnight open. And once we got into some profit here, I was, you saw me, I was just itching to get that order to break even. And I got kind of lucky on the first attempt because price action came back down so quickly that it wouldn't even put my stop loss there because it was above the price that it went down to. So luckily, very luckily, I got one more opportunity with a small push above the overnight open. I moved my stop to break even. Actually, I think it was plus maybe a tick because I was able to get $5 profit off that trade. But then, it was a smart decision. I mean, you could just tell by price action, where it kind of wanted to go after you saw that huge rejection. Because if the buyers are stepping in and this thing's going straight up, at that point, you know, you shouldn't have that huge knockdown that we had the first attempt. So once it gave me the opportunity for a second time to get out of that trade, I took it. And boy, was I lucky to get out of that one because that was about a 35-point reversal down. Second trade that the bot took was off of a 1 minute goal line. I liked it. It was a trend continuation trade to the downside. Maybe that trade works out 6 out of 10 times, 7 out of 10 times. So I like my odds on that one. But unfortunately, that was the loss that we took for the day and for the challenge today. So we took a loss of $98. Count sits at 4,627, and our performance for the day, two trades. One was obviously that overnight open, and then the bot trade that it took. So that was the performance for today. Now let's get into the strategies. And let me explain to you what I mean by what I consider to be a pretty poor performance on my part as far as trading, the actual trading is concerned, not with my strategies. My strategies actually worked out pretty nice. So this was gold. I think I showed you guys this one already in gold. And this one beat me up. This 22 points, took this for a loss. First trade. Actually, I think we got into gold and we got into gold and oil pretty much at the exact same times. So, and that's actually happened. That's actually happened a few times with us. So, let me grab. Give me 1 second. Let me grab oil. 1 second here. All right. So as I left you guys off in the first session, we were still in this oil trade that lasted. Man, I want to say this thing lasted an hour. This first trade here lasted us. So let's take a look at it. We had an inside bar here, second bar. So again, we were in gold and oil, both popped at the same time. We got activated to the short. Now, source candle here, which is our candle to the left, was 62 ticks. What do we do with an order with 62 ticks? We reduce it down to 35. That's part of my strategy. Anything that is 40 ticks or higher, we then resort to a 35 tick stop loss and take profit. 35. So This trade doesn't come to an end till almost the end of session 2. And look at this, how many times this thing was flirting with our stop loss. And then even when we got really close, okay? And this is where my decisions today kind of proved to hurt me. So I'm, of course, chatting it up in Discord, and everybody, including myself, is saying that this is probably one of the longest oil trades that we had been in, or at least I have been in the last 5 months. And once we're here, we are about 5 minutes away from the oil inventory report. And then here we're getting a few minutes before oil inventory report. And at that point, I know that it's a 50-50 gamble because this thing could shoot up or spike in any which way. So for the first time in 5 months of trading the strategy, I tell everybody in the Discord, you know what? I'm just going to lock in at least break even. And I don't want to be part of a 50-50 gamble. And I ended up moving and I was in profit at that point, probably 200 and something dollars. Said I would move it to break even. Sure as shit, the report comes out. This thing spikes all the way through, hits my break even. I'm out of the trade. Once we're above here, where we're about halfway stop loss, I mean, a lot of people in Discord are like, well, break even. Actually, a lot of people in Discord also got out break even. A lot of people took profit early too, which is, in hindsight, was okay, but still, there was more to be had here. And then just reverses all the way down, knocks me, and then takes full take profit. So that right there would have been a $350 trade that I got $0 out of. And you all know that I am a huge proponent of seeing your trades come to a conclusion for one way or the other. At the same time, I am also very aware and have talked many times about oil inventory days on Wednesdays and how that report will affect trading with the spikes leading into the report and right at the release of the report. So at that point, my thought process, my psychology in the trade was I don't want to necessarily be in a 50-50 proposition. I would like to take trades that I know have a slight edge, and I felt like my edge was kind of gone at that point. And sure as shit, it ends up taking the profit and taking that trade. Now that the report comes out, we get, and I have some people in Discord asking me, if I'm going to take this session 2 in oil. And at first, I honestly didn't think we were going to even get a trade in session 2 because to me, this trade seemed like it was going to go until tomorrow. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to sit out session 2. I was a little upset with my decision process here, and I let that also then take the best of me because the report had come out. We had started to kind of seen some dust settle a little bit, and majority of the people in Discord took the second session in oil, and this one was, I believe, 36 ticks. Yeah, 36 ticks and 36 ticks of profit. So that one worked for 36 ticks. This one worked for 35, so that's 71 ticks or $710 if you're trading the mini version of oil. How much of that did I accumulate today? 0. So that is when I say, and then you're going to say, well, Rob, how are you green? Well, luckily my NQ trade worked out this morning at 8:35, so that was great. And then the ringer comes in. And then the ringer comes in, and this just seems like it's a reoccurring theme. I don't know, guys, what more I can tell you about this particular trade. This is the 15-minute Rob reversal trade. We get a signal here at 11:15 to go short. Our entry, we get in. This thing goes for 35 points, $700, one E-mini NQ trade. Boom! I mean, that thing was just I mean, it's a little unbelievable. Because I'll be honest with you, to me it feels like it's like the fifth trade in a row that we hit on this. Might be four, but things been cranking. Takes another signal here that gets us into a trade. And the only problem with this trade was this thing ends up, would have ended up working for you, but this thing starts to trade, getting into the real late hours of the market. And I didn't take I once this trade closed out, I was not even looking for another trade, and it just happened to be the next candle. We get another source candle that comes in. Um, but ultimately, this trade, depending on what your stop loss was, if you're at a 35 point stop, or if you're at the top of the candle, then you got probably wigged out. So it depends on what strategy you're using on the stop loss. So that one worked out fantastic. This one's been like I guess like almost like my end of day saver now for a couple of sessions in a row. Um, so I don't want to say reassess, but I definitely want to take a look at, and I think it was more my emotion in that trade in oil. We were in it for an hour and 15. I mean, seriously, just some crazy up and down movement. Multiple times ticks away from our full stop loss. Multiple times a few ticks away from our take profit. An hour plus into the trade, and five, or actually not even five, I think it was like 2 minutes before the news report comes out, I moved that thing to break even, and it ended up costing me some money. But at the same time, that thing could have just wicked up and knocked me out for 350 bucks. So, I'm not beating myself up by any means. But it's either these small lessons that, as a trader, you really have to pick up on, and you've got to assess as to, okay, if I get put back into that same situation again, what am I going to do? And not to say that might not make you have a mistake, but hopefully we get a little bit better. If you guys are enjoying the content, please remember to like the video. That helps me stay in front of you guys with these videos. And leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of my trades today, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow, and happy trading.